How's everyone doing out there today? Wow, it's different.
Yeah.
My name is Zach Ward, sales manager here at Reverend, and with me I have
Tim Cornick, office manager, inventory manager here at Reverend Guitars.
sanatorial engineer is Jeff Wynn is behind the board, and are you ready?
Yeah, man.
Are we at the desk yet? All right, let's hit it. This is the almost weekend update, and you're in luck, because we're here to give you your news that you need to know. Am I good?
Kind of.
We're going to go through a few things for you Reverend fans out there, and so here we go. I'm going to start off with the top five perks of working at Reverend Guitars, because you know what? People ask all the time, you know, what's the perks? Well, here you go. Number 5, it is a family business environment. Yeah, believe it or not. And we have birthday parties.
We do. Everybody's birthday. We have a nice little lunch for everyone. It's a nice time.
Get to choose.
Yeah.
What was your choice the last birthday you had?
City barbecue, I believe.
City barbecue. It's a local
stuff.
BBQ joint. Number 4, new music. I love seeing and listening to people's new music, so you can drop your YouTube videos or links to your music in the comments below. How about that? New music?
Yeah.
Tim
Yeah.
has new music out. Right, Jeff?
Yep.
Jeff promotes most of us here at Reverend. Here we go. Number 3, concerts.
Yeah.
We're going to dig into more of that here shortly. And often, not always, but we have some backstage experiences, which is pretty sweet. Is my papers above the desk? Am I okay?
No.
Number 2. Now, anybody that's actually listening to this here today is probably a huge Reverend fan, much like ourselves. So one thing that I always, is one of my favorite days, is Prototype Day.
Yeah.
Why don't you give the people, Tim, a little insight on what Prototype Day is here at Reverend?
Yeah. Well, normally when we get our guitars from the factory for our production runs, we get a big shipment of 300 or 400 guitars shipped to our warehouse here in Toledo. But if we have new stuff coming out, we'll get an air shipment, which will be maybe a dozen guitars, and it'll be all this stuff a couple months before, typically the winter NAMM show or the summer NAMM show. And it's, you know, brand new colors or brand new models with our new pickups or something like that. So we get to noodle around on them and check them out before we send them to Joe for his final approval and little tweaks and stuff like that.
Yeah. One of my favorite prototype days was when we got the actual roasted necks, as our factory sent us the necks roasted for us to test out, and that was a pretty big game changer, I think, for us. So that's that. Number 1 top perk for working at Reverend Guitars is gig forgiveness. It is awesome that I can go to Ken and or Penny, say, hey, I've got a gig tonight. I got to leave a little early, and gig forgiveness is granted. All right, Tim, you're up next.
All right.
Top 5 perks. Here we go.
I'll grab my paper here just to be a little more official. I do our customer service email, so if you've ever sent an email to the sales box and had a response, that's typically for me, at least in the past couple of years here. So here are some FAQs, some frequently asked questions that I receive a lot with a few updates. The first one is about pick guards. As you've seen on our guitars in the back here, we have a lot of different pick guards, mostly pearloid now since the beginning of the year. But oftentimes people will want to change the color of their pick guard, you know, to a parchment or a black or a mint green or something like that. And they'll ask us if we have something as a suitable replacement in-house. Typically we don't. We'll just have a couple of them in stock. But we've lucked out recently in that a website that I've been referring people towards, pickguardian.com, is now stocking our templates. So For just about all of our more popular models, including some basses too, they'll have our templates for pick guards. So if you have a Mercalli 4 and you would love to have that Gretschy, you know, sprayed back clear pick guard with the gold, you can do that. And you know, just order through them. So pickguardian.com is a great resource for that.
They're Ohio company as well, right? Aren't they Ohio?
I'm not sure. Jeff
think
is saying
so.
yes.
Jeff is behind the scenes. He's making this work for us today. He is our penny.
Oh,
It's nice.
I'm your little gal.
You're my little gal.
Jeff, I've always thought of you like that.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Number 2, custom orders. So expanding on that kind of customization aspect, we have a lot of different guitars and a lot of different colors and SKUs, and sometimes people will ask and say, you know, I love the East Sider T, I love the Double Asian OG, I would love to see it in some other color, or could you put a Bigsby on it or do something else for us? That unfortunately is not really how we work. We do production runs with our factory, like I mentioned, so our guitars come as you see them on our website.
And that helps keep the costs down, folks.
Exactly. So that's number 2. Number 3 is with our individual pickups. Joe has designed and you know, given the specs for the windings and everything for our pickups to our factory, so they make them with our guitars when they ship them over. But
Our pickups.
we, yeah, this is for the pickups. We do not sell our stock pickups outright. Joe wants to keep that, so you buy the guitar, that's how you get those pickups. The exception to that is our rail hammers. Unprofessional.
Unbelievable.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, that's me.
The exception to that rule is our rail hammer pickups. So the Billy Corgans and the Hyper Vintage and the Nuevos, all of those that you'll find in some of our guitars are available outright. And you can go to railhammer.com and check out our dealers like CME and Split Rock and Mac Daddy, who many of those have just reordered, so they should have a lot in stock.
Bees Music, Guitar Riot, are, I think they all got large shipments here recently, but yeah, they're in that.
Yeah. And the last one I have for you is strings. A lot of people ask what strings came with their guitar when they get it new. For most of our standard electrics, it's going to be Diodario XLs 10 to 46. For our baritone models, the Descents, we have a custom set of SIT brand strings. Those are available in our online store. The Pete Anderson baritone also has a different set of SIT brand strings made for us by that company, also an Ohio company out of Akron. Those are available in our online store. And then the only other one that's really different would be the Mike Watt bass, which is another SIT set 45 to 100. And the rest of our basses and our 12 strings come with the bulk strings from our factory.
And what about the fun fact about Revs's strings? On his?
Yes. Yeah, so any of Reeves' signature models. So the RG1, the Dirt Bike, the RG Sus, the Space Hawk.
Space Hawks.
Am I missing any?
Not yet.
Okay, he's got a lot. But he likes the skinny top, heavy bottom kind of thing. So I believe his are 9 to 48s. So it's a little different set, but everything else is pretty much 10 to 46 on guitar, 45 to 100 on bass. And Diodario and SIT are our preferred brands.
Skinny top, heavy bottom. Think of it as you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
That's
Well,
it.
that was great.
Can I do this too?
That was great. So, next segment is tidbits. We like to give you out there some tidbits of just pearls of information. And it's not wisdom from this point. Anyway, here we go. Tidbits. Our first Facebook Live was on March 3rd, 2017.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Over 3 years, provided my abacus was correct. Tidbit, the next tidbit is, it's not always sunny and beautiful in Toledo.
Hard to believe.
Hard to believe. Don't say anything. The next tidbit is everyone that works here at Reverend Guitars plays guitars. And that's why we have so much care and love into these instruments. Right, Jeff?
Yes. We play guitar.
All right. The next tidbit of information is us employees here do get to influence and suggest product colors and we get to have an opinion, at least, not that it's always,
Needed.
on prototypes, colors, models. So the whole point of that is, yes, Joe does a lot of the heavy lifting, and so does Ken and Penny, but one of the cool things about working here is that they actually ask, what do you think about this? And we get to say something about it. Probably more Jeff nowadays, because you get to, well, we don't want to give that away. Another tidbit is in our store, other than apparel that you can wear or drink from, you can purchase Reverend guitar picks. What a deal. It's a perfect add-on and a stocking stuffer.
We just stocked up on those too, so we're set for a while.
Oh, we do have those? Thank goodness. All right. Soft touch springs. Have you ever noticed that your Bigsby just feels phenomenal on the Reverend guitar, yet you never researched why? Well, you're in luck, because we sell that spring thanks to, again, Revs for initiating that endeavor. You can buy our roller bridge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Upgrade your whole Bigsby setup.
You
Drop
can.
our roller bridge in there, get a soft touch spring, minimal tweaks needed to your setup,
Yep.
and you're good to go.
It's like putting on the extra bass feature on that Walkman back in the late 1900s, early 2000s.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. You can buy our strings, actually, as Tim mentioned. You can see that we did this separately. We have 2 sets of strings. We have the baritone, the Eastsider baritone set, and we have our Descent set. So, hey, guess what? Go get some if you have some. You can buy our triple tree. Now, this is one of the things that when we received our first, bag of triple trees that we're allowed to sell, I upgraded all mine that did not have a triple tree, all my guitars. And believe it or not, it's smooth.
What does not fit on?
Those will not fit on certain Fender headstocks. We're working on getting a more definitive list as far as that goes. If you are into more of the modification kind of thing, you can sand them down a little bit on the bass, and they will work for you. But yeah, just right out of the box, certain Fender headstocks they will not fit on. But any of our older guitars that had the roller tree, if you would like a little more extra pressure on your G string behind the nut, it's a direct replacement, same size screw, so it's an easy tweak.
All right. And then lastly but not leastly, we have our Wilkinson trem arms. In the event that you want a backup or a replacement, fear not, folks. Go to our store. There is free shipping. Makes it convenient. I'm a backup kind of guy. I like to have multiples of things in the event that I need it. So that is there for you. Now, that's the tidbits. Before we start to answer any questions that your heart desires, do we have some?
We got some questions.
All right. This is your time to shine with the questions. Let's talk about our most memorable moments being an employee here at Reverend Guitars. Tim, you get to go first.
Yeah, for me, as Zach mentioned in our little perks thing, it was the first big concert that I went to that dealt with Reverend artists, which was, last year, I want to say? I'm having a tough time on the timeline, but when the Smashing Pumpkins came to Detroit, we went backstage before the show and
The
met
hockey
with
rink, right? Little
Yeah.
Caesars Arena.
yeah, Little Caesars Pizzerina.
Little Caesars is delicious.
Dojo.
Yeah. But yeah, we went backstage and hung out with Billy for a little while and talked gear and Jeff Schroeder. And, that was a really nice time. They're great guys. And it was just a cool experience to go backstage to an arena show and see all the inner workings and, the huge stage crews that they have working on something like that.
Yeah, and shout out to all of the techs and workers for these huge concerts. Like Tim said, we are fortunate and lucky enough that we get to go behind the scenes occasionally and just see everyone running around with their heads about to fall off, working their butts off, especially at the end of the night when they got to tear down before they have to go to the next city. My God, it's
impressive. It's impressive. A lot of hands on deck.
So, most memorable moment for me, other than we've had guests that actually walk through the door here at the Circle R Ranch, which would be Billy Corgan, Mike Watt, Greg Koch, Jay Navarro. You know what I mean? Izzy, Jay Navarro, are you out there?
He's out there.
We do love Jay Navarro. And actually many more. Ken and I should say, Ken took me years ago to see Code Orange play, I believe at the Shelter, Mom Spaghetti. And during that time, Code Orange was not even the headliner at that point. And we were pretty close to the front because we are music and guitar gear nerds. And all of a sudden, a large mosh pit breaks out. And if you can see me, I'm not the biggest guy in the room. And after I believe I got kicked in the head, I noticed that Ken was there, of course, and I noticed that I could actually shield myself from these people just by walking right behind him. I get made fun of it all the time.
I thought this was going in a different direction.
Oh.
I thought you were going to jump into his arms and he was going to carry you out of there.
Well, so I use Ken as a human shield,
I mean, close
basically,
enough.
is what I'm saying. Why are people laughing back there?
Slight delay.
Boy. So, anyway, thank you, Ken, for that, and guy that kicked me in the back of the head. So, we're going to finish this off with some questions. You get to answer, we get to answer your questions.
Well, first of all, our fearless leader, Ken,
Fearless?
is watching,
Oh, really?
and he chimed in with a nice knees ward.
They are nice.
I have a patio gig today. Thank you. Looks like I'm going to a picnic.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people complimenting Tim's playing.
Oh.
Thank you.
Did a lovely job there.
Thank you.
And Ken also thought that he was the #1 perk of working here is having such a
Ken
great boss.
thought he was the #1 perk.
Just having such a great boss.
Just having such a great boss.
But now some real questions.
Oh.
Eric Taylor wants to know if he could use long scale safely on the fat fish.
Can you use long scale safely on the fat fish?
Absolutely. I have played short scale basses myself, and I have found that oftentimes short scale strings will not clear the nut. So if you have the bass strings that have the cloth wrapped around the top end of them, sometimes those will still extend over the nut. It's not really ideal. So really with any of our short scales from the Brad Hauser, the Watt, the Sentinel,
Dub King.
Dub King too. Any of those, whether you string through the body or top load, standard scale length strings work just fine. You'll have a good amount of string tension.
That's
and be
because
able
of
to set
our
them up.
tuning machines, though. Because other short scale basses, sometimes they have a different tuning machine that has a smaller, whatever it is. For ours, you're in good hands.
Yeah.
All right. Raphael Jesus or Jesus wants to know, are the guitars that come to Europe checked in the U.S. or elsewhere before hitting the shops?
Ooh. Well, yeah.
Yeah, they're checked in here. All of our guitars that go out are inspected by myself first, and then set up and given the full once-over by our team of techs in the back. So all of our guitars, wherever you find them, should have the serial number and a tech signature on the back of the headstock.
Proto.
So, and before things get a little too crazy, I put in the screen, because we had an empty hook, the Billy Corgan prototype when we were starting our relationship, since we've talked about him a couple times here today, and before people think that's actually for sale, because it's not. I'm taking it home. Anyway, yeah.
A lot of people wanting to know where Ken is.
He's in my basement. Is that what's the Eminem lyric? I don't know. Never mind. Ken is on his annual family vacation with his relatives up in the Upper Peninsula of, I believe the most northern point of Michigan, I believe.
Yeah.
So he has I think it's a family homestead, and
I've heard it's beautiful up there.
he's family oriented enough that he takes the whole family up north.
Yeah.
Is that a good enough answer, Ken? I hope.
I mean, it's an answer. The HardChargers Belfast wants to know, when will cases for the Club King be available again?
Oh,
Best
let's-
guitar I've ever owned in 26 years of playing. It's going to get a lot of use once COVID relaxes.
So, in the event that they can't hear you, when are the large cases coming back?
We last week received a shipment of large cases, and they were all back ordered. So the second those
Sold.
came in, they were already sold out. So I know that we've been working with TKL, our supplier who makes those cases, and they are, high quality cases. I know that we've been talking with them to try and get some more in, and trying to expedite that next shipment. My best suggestion to you, wherever you are, is contact your local dealer and try and back order one now, and that's going to be your quickest turnaround to getting one in for you.
Yep.
Because they are a hot commodity, and we're trying our best to stock them a little better. But right now, back ordering is your best option.
What can we say?
Good answer.
Thank you.
So Marco Melio wants to know if the story of the Tricky Gomez being in the neighborhood of Zak a true one or a funny marketing thing.
Well, I believe it's something to do with the contract that we're actually not allowed to talk about Tricky, especially now because his model has been retired. I don't know if he goes back on the road, we might bring it back, but I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Grammy Ross says Greg Cox's new P90 model looks great. Will there be more colors?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't either. Tim, do you know what he's talking about?
There will. That guitar has not been formally announced.
We're not going to right now.
Yes.
We're not even going to talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, who knows, wants to know if anyone feels like running an Airwave over to Durdel's today. Thinks he wants to buy both the A models, an Airwave and an Air Sonic.
Well, we are
Great.
not going to show you.
Yeah, great choices.
But we do have new colors for Airwaves that should be hitting the market soon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He wants to know if anybody will run one to Durdel's for him.
run one.
Mm-hmm.
Run.
I brought the wrong shoes.
Yeah.
These are my running shoes. Special shoes.
Durrell's in the house.
Darrell, what's up?
He wants to know how the new Charger RAs are looking without the pick guards.
I'm glad you asked. Sweet. I kind of prefer the non-pickguard version. I was pretty happy to see that.
Yeah, and I am more of a pickguard person, but I will say on inspection of these new Charger RAs that are coming in, maybe some of the best flame tops that we have had.
Yeah.
Some really striking looks. So Jeff's going to have those up on the website soon.
Ooh, actually, why
keep
don't
an
we
eye out
ask
for that?
Why don't we ask Jeff a question? Jeff, when are the pictures going back up?
Whenever I'm allowed to put them up.
Oh,
All right.
so I don't know.
They're ready.
Oh, they're ready. Ooh, maybe if we can get 1 million likes in the next hour, we'll put all of the pictures up. What do you think?
I mean, sure. Yeah. I'll sign off on that.
He'll sign off on it.
All right. Paul Owens
Paul Owens.
wants to know why the top of the Club King is spruce rather than korina.
Why is the top of the Club King spruce instead of korina?
I would ask you, what is the top of your acoustic guitar made out of?
What is it?
It's probably spruce because it is a great resonant wood, and especially in a thin sheet like that, you have a lot of reverberation and resonance there. So really, with a lot of Joe's designs, the Corgan is a great example with some of the channels and negative space used to create more resonance. you know, the better your guitar sounds acoustically will translate to the electrics. So that's kind of you know, why we use spruce in those Club Kings.
Yeah, it's really like, it's almost kind of hybridish, you know, being a hybrid, semi-hollow, you know. But don't think for 1 second that Club King can't rip your head off, because it can.
Very versatile guitars.
Yeah.
We kind of got two people asking around the same question. Both Nick Handley and Peter Fisher want to know what Reverends the three of us own.
Ha.
In our own or play, and do any of us have any of the old USA models? Peter.
Jeff says, Peter Fisher from Collar City, of course, my buddy, wants to know what we have and what we play. Jeff?
I have Charger 290, Charger HB, and an Air Sonic.
Did you guys get that? He's only got 3.
Yeah. That was a Charger 290, Charger HB, and an Air Sonic for Jeff.
Yes.
I've kind of oscillated between a few. I've had an Airwave, an Eastsider T, and I kind of pieced together a trick shot adjacent guitar, which is my main one right now. Yeah, Charger 290 I think is probably in my future as well.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Peter, because here we go. I don't have enough. I will tell you that I'm thinking about getting a Kyle shut now, and I definitely want a Descent, but I have a PA1.
I have a Descent too.
You have Descent too?
Yeah, Descent W.
I rub it in, Tim. I have a PA1 RT that I turned to an RB. No one's supposed to know that. I have 2 double agents, both the W and the OG. I have a Markelli 4 metallic Alpine, and I have, I don't know, there's other things there. I like it a lot.
So Bruce Wrigley wants to know if we ever have scratched and dinged guitar sales.
We do not. We don't.
Yes. We do extend some B stock to some of our dealers. So if you are scrounging around on Reverb and looking for some deals, those have, in a way, relaxed map. So if you're looking at the lower price point stuff, you will see those listed as B stock, and it's part of our agreement with our dealers who are selling those things that they need to post pictures of whatever the scratch and dent issue is. I don't believe warranty extends on those guitars, but you know, if you're looking for something that's, you know,
we'll take care of you.
Yeah, something that's got a little scuff or something in it, and you're not going to be afraid to take it to your gig, or, you know, worried about keeping it pristine, then that's maybe a good option for you.
Yeah, let's face it. We rip our guitars to shreds because that's what they're made to do. So, number 2 on the B stock stuff, there still is nothing that goes out the door that doesn't play amazing or have, it's not going to falter at some point. So, I mean, fear not. If there's something that actually, I can't even think, well, for instance, when UPS ran the guitars over, we're obviously not going to make that a B stock guitar and put that into the world, but rest assured, the B stock is all good.
Yeah.
All right. Our buddy Patrick Flores from Eventide says, "Gold hardware, please."
I don't know what to say.
If it were up to us, it would have already been done.
We like Alati, and what's up, man? Sorry we can't see you at Summer NAMM, but hopefully.
Next weekend. Oh, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. Eventide rules.
I love your shirts. These guys bring them to me from the NAMM shows because I don't get to go. They're very comfortable.
That could have been another perk comment.
Yeah.
We get band shirts and industry shirts all the time.
James Hampton says, with a very broad line of guitars and bass models, more so than most vendors, I believe, how do you steer folks new to Reverend to the right model for them?
Oftentimes, I get those questions in the sales box. So someone will say, I want to play country music, but I don't want to play a Telecaster. And I can tell them, you know, a Charger 290 will give you that twang without looking like every other guy on the block. Trick shots do the same, and you have the bass contour. So if you have a style in mind that you're trying to shoot for, and you're looking at all of our options, and you have option anxiety, send an email to sales@reverendguitars.com, and I can help steer you in the right direction.
So I'm the sales manager, and I suggest that you buy as many as possible. And if you can really quickly, why don't you just comment on how many Reverends you have right now, and let's see who has the most. Steve Amaral, are you out there? Is he going to drop the multiple double? Are we got any triple digits? Any in the hundreds? Probably not.
Ken.
Or Don
Ken
Alban,
does.
maybe.
Ken has like 700 of them, just that way.
Ernie De Hammer wants to know if we're thinking about making guitars out of hemp wood.
Oh.
No.
Is that even a hemp wood? You would have to take a plant-based Michigan product into a. I don't know. I don't think that we have any. That has not came up.
We're going to look into it.
We're a Korina gang.
Yeah, Korina gang for life.
You never know. That might just either happen or just go up in smoke. I don't know.
Next question.
Daniel Page says, sorry if this has already been asked, what's the cool-looking white guitar with the 3 humbuckers on it?
Aha. So yeah, this is the Billy Corgan prototype, not production model. This is one of the second starting point, I believe, or so. But first one that actually came from the factory. And turns out when Billy had... Above the desk. When Billy, that's a good point, sorry. When Billy had received the guitar, he just had, like many people, some modifications that he wanted to do. And he actually, when he was here, he signed it. And that became the Billy Corgan model that we see today.
All right. Halface
Oh.
says, how are the new iron-style pickups different than the classic Revtron?
So that would be the Retro Blast.
Retro Blast.
The Retro Blast is, in a way, just kind of a more modern tweak to the Revtron. Both pickups kind of go for the Gretschy, TV Jones, Filtertron sort of thing. So you get that nice percussive attack while still being able to get some twang and some really nice note clarity. But the Retro Blast kind of just gives it a little more oomph.
A little more warmth in the low mids.
Yeah, and it removes the little metal ears, which I think is a plus. You get to see a little more of the black fiberboard bobbin that the pickup is wound on, and I think they look, way better in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they look sweet and they sound great.
All right. This one's directed to you, Zach.
Oh boy.
Keith Moreland says, Zach,
Pet Shark.
what model Revs do you use on your album? Which, by the way, is excellent.
Is that not for everyone?
That is not, not for everyone. Zach Ward, folks, by today. That rock and roll masterpiece that never had the light of day. It's my double agents, both of them. I mean, those are my go-tos. I did put a Billy Corgan neck pickup in my OG, so it's not technically kind of a OG anymore, but sounds sweet.
All right. Steve Amaral
There
says,
he
how
is.
about that sweet coffee burst on the Contender 290?
How about it?
It would be nice. Maybe someday.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. I mean, that's a Joe Naylor thing. I mean, yeah, we get to have some fun and putting our opinions in, but Joe and Ken really are the starting point.
All right. Peter Chapman says, hi. On the website, the Midnight Black / Tortoise Buckshot is pictured with a Revtron neck pickup, but all the other colors are pictured with the Retro Black.
Well, Jeff.
Is this a deliberate difference? Thanks.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the year, we did a lot of color changes. That's also, that was for Winter NAMM, basically. Around that same time, we came out with the Retro Blast pickups. So it was the Buckshot, correct, Jeff?
Buckshot Black Tortoise.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Buckshot, new for this year, is black with a white perloid pickguard and the retroblast in the neck. The old version from last year, had a tortoiseshell pickguard with a Revtron in the neck. So I know at the time we still had 1 or 2 of those in-house. I believe that we have only the newer one, so I think that old one will need to be taken down.
Yeah, I believe so, Jeff.
As we've been selling out through some of that old stock, we've been removing some of those older pictures.
But I challenge you, buy them both and report back to us what one sounds better. We want to know.
Yeah.
All right. Eric Taylor wants to know if there's a showroom reopening date yet.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. This lovely environment that you see us in right now is our demo room. It is pointedly not called a showroom because a lot of times what we have in here is stuff that needs another set of eyes for that B-stock stuff that we mentioned earlier. We have in our warehouse something like 700 guitars up to 1,000 at a time, and as you'll know with our the way we do things, we receive our guitars from our factory and we set them up right before they go out the door to dealers. So we have a lot of guitars here. Very, very few of them are set up right now. So whenever the COVID stuff kind of calms down, we'll welcome people to come back and take a tour.
When that happens, all you have to do is buy a Reverend guitar, and if you find a golden ticket, right, in the box, 7 lucky winners are going to come here and tour the factory with, yeah.
Please don't get too close to the chocolate river.
All right. Eric Taylor's back again with another question.
Oh.
He wants to know if we're going to be able to fit the entire Reverend line in heights.
Wow, Eric. These are so good. That is on heights. That has nothing to do with me. I will provide heights with as many guitars as they would like to have in their store. How about that?
All right.
Why? How much room do you have in your house for them?
Yeah. So Steve Zinn wants to know, how about a Jetstream 290/Jetstream 290W?
Interesting options.
Yeah.
How about it? That's a great question. The neat thing about you guys have these dream ideas of awesome pickup configurations. We do too. We have mock-ups we haven't made yet. We just do the best we can, but that's about it.
Eric Sakema, I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, wants to know how many guitars we sold last year.
I think about 1 billion.
You might be selling it short there.
You know what's really funny? Selling it short. Even as a sales manager, I don't know what the exact number is. These things just come in and come out the door so fast, and I don't particularly count them, but I don't know. We get like how many a month? You do that, 400 or 500 a month?
Yeah, we've received in our shipments 300 to 400 a month, and I think we're roughly close to turning about that much over each month too. So
pretty much. You guys are keeping us busy. I will tell you that.
Brad Edwards wants to know if there's any new mid-year colors coming soon.
Mid-year, yeah.
Yeah, and we've mentioned a couple of them already. The Charger RAs and
Airwaves.
Airwaves are going to be new colors. We've got a lot more, so please, keep an eye on the Reverend website.
I'm sure Ken's going to do a thing.
Yeah, Ken will probably have, next week or whatever when he does Facebook Live, you'll see some new stuff. But, as soon as those are available for sale, they'll be on our website with new pictures and glamour shots and looking real nice.
All right, Jeff, 2 more questions. I got stuff to do.
We don't have any more questions.
Perfect.
Tim, you want to play us out?
Yeah, sure.
All right, why not? So drop your links and how many guitars you have in your collection in the comments below. Why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. This is also being streamed on YouTube, So if you don't want your grandma to know what you're rocking and rolling, you can go watch us on YouTube instead of Facebook. Thanks, everybody.
That's good gone.
Huh?
That's good gone.
Smooth.